The next session will be delivered by IBM Product Manager on mobile, João. He'll be talking through with us how IBM Mobile is leveraging AI to deliver a better field service management experience. So welcome, João.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. My name is João. I am from IBM. I am from the product management team. I've been working with asset management for the last 20 years. And in IBM, I am working for 17 years already. My areas of expertise are mobility, GIS, and AI. On my time outside IBM, so I like to do some research activities. So I have a master's on AI. I do a lot of patents with IBM as well. And outside of all of these, on my really free time, I'm a free diver. So I like to do free diving. So if anyone does that, I'm trying to find good spots here in Sydney for the weekend. I heard about Chalet Beach, which is a good one, but yeah, that's a conversation for later today in the happy hour. The disclaimer slider, so we'll be talking about future things here as well. So we'll be talking about features that we have into the product today, but we'll talk about enhancements that we are working right now that will be released in 9.2. And as a disclaimer, these items can be changed, so we can change the scope, change the date, and change everything. So just be careful on the future items that we will be talking here. The intro slide. So we heard this information in most of the sessions today. So the very first one in the morning, the one from Kendra, Stan talked about that. So all the different issues that we have today in the context of EAM and field service management, right? So high turnover, retiring workforce, hiring costs that is super high, third-party technicians, so contractors, so those are included inside our organizations. And all these numbers and all these items are causing what we also heard a lot, the fail on first fix, right? So we don't have a good number on that. So we have technicians going back and forth to trying to find where to execute work. They don't have geospatial location, so back office does not reflect the information that is out on the field. That happens very often. Paper things, work orders being printed, inspections form being printed, and we ingest data somehow in Maximo or in the other systems. All of this is causing inefficiencies in field service management. So we have manual processes for scheduling and dispatching, right? We all know that. As I said, a lack of visibility on the back office on what is really happening out on the field. So very often we don't know what's going on, we don't know the data. Technicians get to execute work or execute PMs or inspections. And I heard examples that when they get there, the asset is not even there. The asset doesn't exist, or vice versa, right? So sometimes the technician gets there, and they open the application, and they see the asset that needs work, but they also see something else that is here that's not reflected in the system. So we have these scenarios that happens very often. Paper-based, so printing work orders, having technicians to drive back to the office to open the seat in front of their computers, enter data in their system. They hate that. We all know that. These guys like to be out on the field doing real work, and they need mobile tools, right? They need tools to update data from the field and not having them to drive back to the office, sit in front of the computer, and feed the system with data that they got out on the field. And again, all of this is causing the first-time fix rate to be low, so we are not providing the right tools for them. And what is the main objective of field service management is Stan was saying that today in the morning. Kendra also said that. Get the right person, and this is super clear and very direct objective here. So get the right person with the necessary skills and tools. So I'm making sure that I'm sending the right person to execute that work, and he will have the needed tools and materials to execute that work. On the right place, so I have the geospatial context. I know where the asset is located. I know where the work order needs to be executed, and I'm sending the technician to the right place. And I'll provide also, in terms of the geospatial context, I'll provide the technician the capability to see what is around that work. So I have work to be done here, but maybe I have a gas line besides the work, right? So I don't need to send someone there to just find there when they start to execute the work. With location information, geospatial information, we can find that information before sending someone, and we do the right scheduling for that type of work. At the right time, right? So I don't miss the dates. I have my SLAs, and I'm not missing that because field service management can help us on that. And I don't need to send the technician multiple times to get the work done out on the field. So that can be done at the very first time they get there. On top of inventory, with the tools that I have or when they will be available, I'll just send someone there when that is available. Reduced fleet maintenance and connection of the field work with the back office. So as I said on the beginning, the technicians out on the field can be connected with the system without having to go back to the office and update the Maximo or your EAM system with that information that he's getting there. And what is the path for that? How do I start on that? So the very first thing is your EAM system, so your assets, your PMs, your work orders, your inspections. This is all about Maximo, right? So this is what we have today. Most of us, we have that. And the very next step on this path here is your mobility tool. So I have my assets, I have my work orders, my PMs, my inspections, and then I need to provide mobile tools for my field technicians to execute this work. So I want to get rid of paperwork. Then finally I get then with a mobile application that they can use out on the field. If you are not using Maximo Mobile, just be aware that Maximo Mobile is included as part of your license in the Maximo application suite. So you don't have extra cost in terms of licensing to use Maximo Mobile. It's all based on users. So if you have technicians going to the system already to update the work orders or to get the work orders to be executed, Maximo Mobile is already there for you. You just need to enable that and start to use, but no extra licensing to start to use Maximo Mobile. And if Maximo Mobile is already there, very good second step here. The next step will be the optimization, right? So I want to make sure that I send the right person at the right time, right? All that right things that we said in the previous slides. And then finally, the 3 steps for FSM, right? Planning, scheduling, and dispatching. All of these with optimization, you have the new dashboards inside Manage and Mass that makes your life easy to see what's going on, right? So all the capabilities will be there for you. A little bit more about the dashboards, scheduling, dispatching, and optimizer. These are the features and functions that are available in these dashboards today. And then the last one here is Maximo Mobile. So these are the main steps here, or the key features for field service management that we are making that available. In terms of Maximo Mobile, it's a mobile application, right? So it's available for iOS, Android, and Windows. So we support all these 3 different platforms. And these applications are all available in the public app store. So right now, if you go to your devices and search for IBM Maximo Mobile in the app stores, you will see our app there. And more important, it is there with offline support, right? So I can go to remote areas with no coverage, zero signal, or I can go even inside this building. So if I go into the elevator, if I go into the garage, there's no connectivity there. Or the connectivity sometimes is super poor. I have like 1 bar of signal that makes the app impossible to go to the server. So the application was designed to work in that type of scenarios. And we have customers already using that. So we have, this is not a new product, by the way. So we will see the roadmap slide. So we are going to the release number 11 of Maximo Mobile. And we have many, many customers using that. And there are customers here in Australia that are using that in remote conditions and remote areas that is heavily testing that offline capabilities and poor network conditions. So again, I'll just say one more time because sometimes we get this type of question. So does it support offline mode? And the answer is yes. So fully disconnected scenarios is supported here. Whenever there is connectivity, the application will start to send data to your server. So we don't have, if you open Maximo Mobile, you will not see like an upload button inside the app. So the application can detect when it can reach your server, and will start to send transactions to the server after the field technicians execute their work. We did a lot on improving the UX, and this is not only about Maximo Mobile. If you look at the modernized user interface of Maximo, there was a lot of investment on having a better UX. As Stan was saying in the morning, so the classic UI of Maximo looks like an Excel spreadsheet sometimes, like the old applications of Maximo. But if you look at the new applications of Maximo, and we'll see a few demos here, they are modern. The UX is good, is intuitive, so you don't need a lot of training for your end users to start to use these applications. We support, as it's stated there, redlining on images, barcode support, QR code support, NFC tags, and different AI features and functions that we will also talk. Voice to text is also available. So this is one of the features that technicians like a lot. So instead of having them to type, let's say, work log, right? So when they start a work order, there is a work log capability inside Maximo Mobile. And they can use voice to text. So they don't need to type all the time when using the application. So voice to text is available for them, even in offline mode. So the application can use that. Maps and GPS. So one of the key elements of field service management is find or know where your field technicians are located to allow the dispatcher to send emergency work orders. So Maximo Mobile can update your server back with the position of your technicians. We call last known location. And then have better use cases for field service management. And the last one there is what we call collaborate. So imagine myself as a junior technician, right? So I don't know all my assets. I don't know how to properly do these work orders, even having a job plan. And one of the features that we have inside Maximo Mobile is remote expert assistance. So I can call from the application a more experienced technician and start a video conversation with this senior technician. And the video conversation contains augmented reality use cases. So when I point the camera of this device here for this asset, the technician on the other side of the call can make annotations on that. So he can basically draw actions on the screen of the device saying, fix this, fix that, fix that. And whenever I point my camera for these assets here, it will show me the drawings on top of my image. So it's a super nice feature that we have that is also available inside Maximo Mobile. The main application here for field service management is the technician application, so like the work order execution. We'll see that we'll have a lot of other modules or applications inside Maximo Mobile. But in the context of field service management, the work order execution is the main one, right? So this is where the technicians will get the work orders into the device that were scheduled and dispatched by the scheduler tools on the server in front of him in this type of UI here that we have for Maximo Mobile. When the technician gets the work orders into the device, they can accept, reject. It can be sent to a supervisor, so we have a supervisor application as well that supervisors can check the details of the work orders, approve the work orders, change the assignments of the work orders from the device. So that's another request that we always get. So as a supervisor, I don't want to go back to the office every time to change assignments or approve work orders. I want to do that from my device anywhere I am located without having to go back to the office or being seated in the office all the time. And as I said, the application is always sending data back to the server, status change or reassignments or emergency work orders that can happen. And the optimization will continue to be worked on the server. So it's not something that is static. So the optimization algorithms continue to work from the server. And the use case about emergency work order is a good one because based on emergency work orders, we can have the device positions on the field and then send that emergency work order to the technician that is more close to the device or to the position of the work order that needs to work, right? So, and push notification message is also supported here, so I can send alerts and notifications for the device of the technician that will get that work. Remote collaboration is also here, but I also mentioned there in the previous slides. I jump to the next one. And this is the list of modules or list of applications that we have today inside Maximo Mobile. Some of them are marked here as 9.2. So we have a small 9.2 item there, which are the ones that we are working right now. But we have invested a lot. So as you can see here, there are different applications inside Maximo Mobile. I like to split that into different boxes. So on the left side here, we see the work box. So we have the application for work order execution that we call My Schedule. The approvals application, which is the supervisor application, so I can change status, change assignments, make changes in the work orders before I send to the technicians. Service request application, where, and this is a good one because you can make this application available to anyone in the organization. And the ones that will have access to that application, we don't charge app points to use that. So if you make that available to the users that will only have that application, we don't charge app points to use that. So you can allow anyone to open service requests with the application. And that includes photos, videos, attachments, so the users can include a lot of information when opening service requests. Inspections, so the inspection forms, so the e-forms that sometimes we call that in that way, is also one of the heavily used applications inside Maximo Mobile. There's a lot of functionalities here when defining those forms. So the forms can be, you define basically basic questions and answers, and the form can have conditions. So if I answer a yes here, that will open three more questions there. And if I say no, you can configure the form to ask the user to submit more pictures or videos depending on what you want. The box in the middle here is the inventory module or the inventory box. So inventory receiving is application. For the receiving use cases, counting books is also available inside Maximo Mobile, and issues and transfers. So this is all there. The other one there in between inventory and asset is the defects application. This is an industry solution application that is part of civil infrastructure. It's also available here inside Maximo Mobile. And finally, on the right side here, assets application. So you have access to all your assets records inside Maximo Mobile. Allows you to update those assets, classifications, specifications, attachments, anything that we have, asset images, this is available. Locations is coming 9.2, is being developed right now as a new module for Maximo Mobile. And the next one there is visual inspections. I'll talk a little bit more about that in another slide, just for that. But basically, this is one of the AI items that we have inside Maximo Mobile. Under AI, we have what we call computer vision. It's one of the segments of AI. And visual inspections is the ability to take a picture of an equipment and have AI to help me to find out what is going on with that equipment, right? So I can take a picture of this TV here that is in front of me, and the AI can help me to find if there is a crack or if there is a cable that is not properly connected in this TV when I am opening a service request or when I am executing an inspection or when I am doing my work order. So this is available today as part of inspections, but we are opening more use cases for visual inspections or for AI inspections inside Maximo Mobile with MVI or Maximo Visual Inspections. I'll talk a little bit more about that in another slide there. Offline support, again, so I'll just mention one more time here. The app really was designed since the very first release. This was a design strategy that we took, so we call offline first or offline always. We consider the app offline always or offline first. That means that whenever the technician is using the app, it will always get the data from the local database, from what we have already downloaded from your server. So the technician, when executing a work order, he does not need to wait to go to Maximo and get data and show something else on the application. So everything is down in the device, and we download all of that on what we call the onboarding process. When he logins at the very first time on the day, we download a lot of data from Maximo into the application, and then he can go out on the field, go to the remote areas, or even put the device in airplane mode. He will be able to do anything he wants into the device because the data is already there. Whenever there is connectivity again, the application will detect that it can reach the server. And sometimes you are connected. So this example here, I have 4 bars of cell signal, and I have Wi-Fi as well. But the application is telling me here that I am working offline mode. So this example here is, I put the VPN down. So I have a VPN client in this example here, but my VPN client was down, and the application was not able to connect to the server, right? Another example is sometimes my server can be down, right? Something happened to my server. IT had to shut down my server, or IT is applying a patch. For the field technicians that are out on the field, they don't really care about that. They just want to get their job done, right? And this application will allow them to continue to do that. So that's another good thing. So when planning downtimes in Maximo, so because of upgrades or applying patches, the technicians will not be affected, right? So you can plan that to avoid them to be affected. And whenever the server is up and running again, the application will start to send transactions back to your server without having them to do something in the app. Whenever we have to download data, of course we need to download data from Maximo. We did a lot of optimization for this data download process, so we do delta download. So if I already have the data in the device, why do I need to download again, right? So we check before we download. Attachments or dependent data, we do a lot of work there to reduce the files that we need to download or images. So sometimes when we go to the browser, we put large attachments or large images, so we do apply compression before downloading those images to the device to speed up the download process. And as I said, automatic upload. So whenever there is connectivity, the application will start to send transactions back to the server automatically without having the user to do anything in the app. Let's do a time check here. So Maps. Maps is also one of the big areas for Maximo Mobile. It's there since the very first release of the application. So as I said, we are on the release number 11. We support online and offline maps, outdoor and indoor maps. So this is an example of an indoor map. This tool that we see here in the bottom is what we call the floor picker. So what we are seeing here is the user is switching the floors of a building. This building has 3 floors. Let's see if we'll do again. Here, this is a video. Let me go back. This is floor number 0 that is right now there. And if we go to floor number 1, you will see the assets and the details of that building will change. So this is what we call the indoor map support that we also included inside Maximo Mobile. And map data is just another set of data. So we need to be careful when downloading that. So we did a lot of optimization when downloading that map data. So delta updates for the map data is there as well. Another one that is super important for Maximo Mobile is, I think 100% of Maximo customers, they like to, or they have to, change the out-of-the-box applications. Sometimes they need to include extra fields, or sometimes they will remove existing fields that we ship out of the box, right? And we included an application designer, or what we call that Maximo Mobile configuration tool, or sometimes we call MAF tool, that allows you to change all the mobile applications that we ship inside the product. So the work order details page, or the service request page, or the asset application, you will be able to change that application from your browser using this tool that we call the Maximo Mobile Configuration Tool, or MAF tool, right? For the ones that are familiar with the application designer from Maximo, we use the same concept here. So you go there, you remove fields, you add fields, and the idea here is after you make your changes, you just hit the publish button that is there on the right, and then next time your user comes in, logging inside Maximo, he will download that new version of the application without having to redeploy the mobile devices or the applications to the mobile devices. So this is a fully automated process that works inside Maximo. A little bit more about AI. So Kendra was talking about the AI assistant today in the morning. We released that as part of the browser inside in MAS 9.1. So if you go to MAS 9.1, the AI assistant is there, available to you when using the browser. And in 9.2, we are making that assistant available in the application as well. So field technicians will have access to the natural language AI assistant, like the tools that we use out there. So there are many tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. So these will be available to field technicians as well inside when we do 9.2. Oops, sorry. Main use cases here will be database retrieval. So what are the work orders that are assigned to me that are associated to the asset 11430, right? What are the work orders that are assigned to the user poll? So these type of questions we'll be able to answer easily with the AI assistant. And also aggregation. So show me the amount of days, or show me the total cost of the work orders that I own. So the AI assistant will be able to provide these answers for field technicians also from the app. The one on the right there is the browser-based view, so this is already available as part of 9.1. This next one is a quick video here. So this is what I was talking about Maximo visual inspections. This is a new application that is being developed. This is just a prototype. This is not the final code yet. The use case here is visual inspections as part of AI on computer vision. So right now here, I'm downloading a model that I created on the server to do classifications on images. And I am doing the setup of my inspection, visual inspection process. And then this camera button here that will be pressed, the blue one, allows me to take any picture from any type of equipment. And here we'll see that AI was able to detect different items in this image. So the use cases for this application here is quality inspection. So when you'll be able to take pictures of equipments to validate quality, but we will also open the other applications like the asset applications, work order applications, service request application, to use this capability to enrich the Maximo records with that information. So we are not replacing like the service request description, right? But very often when we get a service request, so especially the ones from IT, we get a service request saying computer not working, right? Or asset is leaking. So, but we don't get a lot of information. The idea here with MVI inside Maximo Mobile is to enrich that record. So MVI will be able to say, yeah, the asset is not working because there is oil leaking here, or needs a repair there, or there is a missing cable there that you need to do a repair. So that will help the technicians when they get to execute that work order. A little bit about roadmap. This is not only roadmap, but this also shows what we have been doing. I really like this slide because it shows the amount of investment that IBM is putting inside this product, right? And this is another IBM slide that we try very hard to put everything in a single slide, but it's too much information here. And, but that's the message that I wanted to pass with this slide. So this is the existing application, the existing modules, all those tiles that we saw in the blue screen that we call Navigator, is one entry here. So we have the technician application or the inspections application, service request. If you look at on the right side, so you will see the technician application is going to the release number 11, right? So all the inspections, which is the second most used application in Maximo Mobile, is also going to the release number 11. So it's not a new product. So it's a product that we did already 11 releases. We have many customers using that. It's stable, it's mature. But another good indication from this slide is for 9.2, you will see that all applications will get investments, right? All applications that we have here, we have been working. There are some gaps here, let's say 8.11. There were gaps there. We did not touch a lot on technician. But for 9.2, yes, there will be more and more investment and more features and functions for all applications. On top of that, there are new modules coming. Look at that. This is just for 9.2. There is one here that we did for 9.1 that is already available, but this slide doesn't fit everything. But that's the message here that we want to pass. Offline support, iOS, Android, and Windows capabilities, support, multi-language, and for Australia, this is very important. There are some use cases that the field technicians are crossing time zones. So they start their work here, and they cross the time zone line, and the application supports that as well. It was driven by one of the Australian customers that we did that, and it's working there. I have 5 minutes left for questions.
Any questions? Yep.
Go ahead, please.
Right here. And
Hi.
this one.
So with the expanded functionality that you sort of outlined, is that going to result in an expanded sort of memory consumption to actually sort of have the app on a device as well?
You said memory consumption?
So, like, for instance, it might have been, say, 1 gig before, it'll become, 1.2, 1.5, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I'll just repeat your question. So the question is if what we are doing to do a better job on memory usage, right? So make sure that we don't put a lot of load on the device in terms of memory or disk space. And also, I'll extend that to processing and RAM memory. Yes, there is a lot that we are doing. On disk space, one of the key things that we are doing for 9.2 is we will reduce a lot the amount of data that we download from the server because of performance, to speed up the download, and also to utilize less disk space in the app or in the device. On performance, on RAM or in processing, yes. And if you look at these use cases that we have inside Maximo Mobile, we are not doing anything fancy or that requires a lot of CPU power or even GPU. There are some use cases for inspections or visual inspections that will require GPU, but those are not the main use cases. But if you look at work order execution or inspection form, this is just the user saying that I completed the task, I'll enter like work log information, and send that back to the server. One of the things that I always do, and I have that in my backpack, is I always test with an iPhone 15. This is my phone that I have, and I always playing with that. But I also have an iPhone 6 always with me. When I get this type of questions, I give the iPhone 6. So this is like a 10 years old phone that you can use Maximo Mobile with that without any problems. Of course, when you go to a iPhone 16, 17, the usage will be more fluid, right? The applications will roll much better. But the iPhone 6 is usable, so you don't. If you don't pay a lot of attention, you don't see any problems there.
Cool. Thank you.
Welcome. There's one there.
That was that one first. Let me just go.
We've just implemented Mobile 9, I believe, and 8.10, sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, apologies. And we're sort of trying to gather up a lot of tech experiences with the app at the moment. A couple of the main issues at the moment is when we release an update to the mobile app, we have to get them to physically reset the app and also get them to copy across the server in which they log on to. Is that being addressed in the newer versions?
Yeah. So the question is, I'll repeat the question, just make sure we all understand. When I'm doing a patch or when I'm doing an upgrade, are you saying that you have to reset the app, right? And reconfigure the app. That is not supposed to happen since the very first release of mobile. I'm happy to take that as a follow-up item, and we will take a look on what's going on. But for the end user, and this is what I was talking on the beginning, for the end user, especially the technician that is out on the field doing like real work, he does not care if IT is applying a patch, 051 on the server, so he just wants to execute his work. This is not supposed to happen. Any other question? Yes, please.
Got
two more.
You mentioned push notifications.
Yeah.
If I take an example, if I have, say, my technician, Juliet, she's out on site and we recognise that there's an imminent safety hazard, where it's a bushfire or something, how do push notifications practically work? Like, how do you identify Juliet needs to receive this notification versus anybody else?
Yeah, the question is, how do we know where to send the push notification and based on what conditions, right? This is a condition that you specify inside Maximo on the server. So you can define a work clause saying that if there is let's pick the emergency work order. if there is an emergency work order that was approved and has an assignment, and then I'll send a push notification for that specific user based on his device ID. So we get the device ID when they log in the application, and we know where the device we need to send that push, based on that trigger that you set up in Maximo. And the trigger in Maximo is just a where clause. Yes, please.
Thank you for your presentation.
Sure.
My question is around the privacy, especially around the inspection images that you have. Do you use that data for training for any purposes, or is it just for evaluation? And I think someone can ask the same question for the AI assistant.
Yeah, so the question is privacy with images when we do the inferencing for the models. The models are created by you and deployed on your server. You control what images will be used to train the model. And when we are doing the inferencing process, we don't use those images to retrain the models. So we don't do that. And there are some other areas that we take that very serious. This is a big thing in IBM, especially because we have a lot of government, military customers that requires a lot from us in these areas. So we take that very seriously. There are other areas of the applications as well that privacy and user consents needs to be granted to have the application to fully work.
That's good.
Sure. You can tell me, I will repeat your question.
Just on the inventory receiving, is there anywhere in the roadmap that we're adding attachment to attach a packing slip? Or this is a question I get asked from the store.
Yeah. So the question is, when doing the receiving process, can I attach a picture of the equipment that I'm receiving? Yes. If it's not there in 9.1, it's coming in 9.2. But for 9.2, what we are also doing for receiving is to run the visual inspection on what I'm receiving to help me to know if the equipment that I'm receiving is in a good condition or not. Is the expected condition, the expected equipment? The answer is yes. I think we added that as part of 9.1 for attachment. If not, that will be 9.2. If I have time, there is one quick video here that I always like to show. This is from a customer that we have. They are based in Arizona, in US. And this is the inspection form. And the issue here was they opened a support ticket saying the application was crashing. It's, oh my God, no. And let's talk to this customer to find out what's going on. And then we realized that the crash was happening because the device was overheating. This is in Arizona, in US. And the solution that we found with the customer is to put ice packs behind. And this is true. When they told me, no, you're putting ice behind the iPads, I said, no, send me a video of that. I need to see that. That's not true. Yeah, but that's that solution that they had there. And my question was, where did you find those cases? And if you go to Google and put like iPad ice cases, you'll find that that's there available to be if you need that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, João.